Shalom, this is Kabash Yasharala, and before I hop into today's lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the true Paleo Hebrew tongue. Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amath. I want to give a double honor to the apostles and elders, GMS who rule well and teach well. I want to give a double honor to my elder apostle as well, Aharawan Ben Yasharala of the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to say shalom to the Akim four corners of the globe, pushing the truth and sincerity. And with that being said, this is going to be a quick lesson going to the topic of when the Sabbath is. Because this world teaches that the Sabbath is Friday sunset till Saturday sunset. But that's false if you're doing it according to scripture and what the Lord established. And basically, like I said, it's going to be a quick lesson going into that. So, Sirach 43:6, he made the moon also to serve her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So we use the moon to number the months, basically. So when we get a new moon, we're entering a new month. For instance, the Sabbath can land on Friday at sunset and go until Saturday at sunset, but that's not always the case. For instance, the Sabbath this month at the recording of this lesson is Sunday at sunset till Monday at sunset. And we're in the 21st day. What's today's date? Okay, so at the recording of this lesson, July 6th, we're in the 21st day of this month. So we have one more Sabbath that's going to come in at the 27th, and it might end on the 28th, or we might have a double Sabbath, meaning we're going to have a 2-day Sabbath from Sunday at sunset till maybe Tuesday at sunset. I don't know exactly when it lands, so I can't give an exact, But when the new moon comes in, that's when the new month comes, whether it be a singular Sabbath or a double Sabbath. And you got false camps, and you got Judeo-Christians and people like that. They'll tell you that the Sabbath is Friday sunset to Saturday at sunset, and they'll tell you it's the 7th day, but they're doing so according to the Roman calendar, not the calendar of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, not according to what he established. It says in verse 8, the month is called after her name. So the word month comes from the moon, not the Roman calendar. And that's why the Sabbath lands on certain days. It's not always, that's why you can't just say it's Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. Now, yeah, we in this wicked world. We can't serve the Lord how we want to serve him. You might have to work on the Sabbath. We can't serve the Lord as we can, but that's our punishment for going against him. But just getting back on topic, we do the best we can to serve the Lord to the best of our abilities. We keep the Sabbath holy to the best of our abilities. And a part of serving the Lord is knowing of his ways. We have to know when the true Sabbath is. And this lesson is really stemming from a conversation I had with somebody. It wasn't really a conversation. It was like a topic that came up, and you shine that light, they flee from it. But somebody gonna hear it, That's why we out here to teach those who have eyes to see, ears to hear, those who want to learn the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and grow in the truth and in his spirit. I'm going to read verse 8 one more time. So Sirach 43:8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So I'm going to say it one more time. When you get a new moon, you're entering a new month. You have a new moon Sabbath to start the month. And let's go all the way back to the beginning. Genesis 1 and 14. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So again, the Lord gave us the sun, moon, and stars to use as a measuring tool to measure our days, months, and years. He didn't give us the January, February, March calendar, that Roman calendar. But this world being wicked went away from the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and when it formed his own way of righteousness, which is nothing but wickedness. If you cut the light on, shine that light, that truth on it. And the person I was correcting, because they was telling me, yeah, cause matter of fact, that's what the person said. They said, oh, the new moon came in on the Sabbath. No, the new moon is the Sabbath. And they didn't want to hear what I had to say, but that's cool. That's the spirit that the Lord put on them. They didn't want to be corrected. But you can either take the correction or the judgment. And when you disregard the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, that's basically what you're asking for. So we need to make sure, we need to serve the Lord diligently. Study to show ourselves approved. Because we don't want to be ashamed for our works. If you're just keeping the Sabbath Friday sundown to Saturday sundown willingly, especially after hearing this truth, man, there's nothing left for you but a fearful looking of judgment. And I'm going to get this last precept going into the Sabbath. So, Exodus 20 and 8, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. So we're to remember the Sabbath. You're not remembering the Sabbath according to the spirit of... I'll get one more precept. I'll get an interjection. Make it an interjection. Let's go to John, I think it's 4. Okay. John 4 and 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So you could worship the Lord sincerely. You could be keeping the Sabbath Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. You could be sincere in that, but it's not according to the spirit of truth. You gotta have the spirit to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and do so according to the spirit of truth. His word is the truth. And his word instructs us on when the true Sabbath is. So for instance, like I said, this month, the Sabbath is Sunday at sunset to Monday at sunset. So 21 days ago, we got a new moon, which brought us into a new month. We have one more Sabbath after this, and it's going to be the end of the month. And then from there, we'll have a new moon enter another new moon Sabbath. 7 days after that will be new moon Sabbath again. No, it's like it. 7 days after that would just be Sabbath. Not new moon, but yeah. But going according to the ways of the world, man, have you moving according to false doctrine, lies, deception. But verse 23, but the hour cometh that now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. So the Lord not dealing with you if you moving according to lies, false doctrine, and all these things. That's why we need to study and show ourselves approved, man. Because the hour cometh that now is, man. This light being shined on this earth. This truth is being brought out. It's time to put these false doctrines away and repent to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Father in the name of the Son. The Father being Yahweh, his Son being Yahweh Shai. You got to have the names. But our people, they don't want to put their they don't want to put their ways away for the ways of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So they're not the true worshipers. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai is looking for the true worshipers. And part of that is keeping the Sabbath to the best of your ability. Now, yeah, we couldn't keep the law, but that doesn't mean the Lord did away with the law. We established the law and keep it to the best of our abilities. Now just getting back to this Exodus. I went past it. So again, just remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy, meaning keep it separate. So anything you do any other day out the week, you put that away, because this is the Lord's day. And skip down to verse 11. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested in the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So the Lord favors the Sabbath. So us being in a light mindset, we need to favor. So like we need to favor the Sabbath. We need to be keeping it holy. So like you. Because if we're not in the mindset of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we're in this mindset of this world. And there's no in between. So we need to know these things. Knowing the true Sabbath is. Because this is important. This is a commandment. The Lord commands this of us. But that's pretty much it. So Yahweh Rock, that's all this lesson was edifying. And until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.